usually the way that things go is people end up finding themselves in a lifestyle that they don't want to be living in. If this is you, welcome to a new place. Welcome to a new life, because this opportunity that's right in front of you is one that you've had in front of you your whole life. Okay? You've had it in front of you, but sometimes we are so clouded, we're so fogged up, we can't see that we actually have been getting everything that we have been wanting without actually realizing it. Like, you actually get it all. I wanted that. Life is so interesting. And, I'm tired of talking about the surface stuff. If this is not for you, that's okay. Sometimes we have not reached a point where we know who we are. And when we don't know who we are, we become everyone else's perspective of us. But when that happens, there comes this point where we also blame all these other people for the things that happened to us, when really we accepted that. And then we accept it so obliviously that we do whatever we can to justify it. I have students who, when they share with me that they don't believe in lack, right? And then I read the things that they share about money, such as it comes and goes. I feel like I'm going to run through the little bit of money that I have. When people make a lot of money, they lose it easily. We have to work really, really, really hard for it. A lot of resources are being stripped away. That's the language, right? And so I say, well, that's an interesting perspective. It sounds like one of coming from lack. And then they're like, no, that's not lackful, right? It's more like I'm seeing it as I am so abundant that money comes and goes from me easily, but I don't put any thought into where I'm putting the money. So I'll utilize it on something that's short-lived, something that is very, very, quote, inexpensive or very little cost. But those little costs add up over time. So that was kind of like the understanding of it. And I was like, okay, I get that part, right? But the whole language model that's being used, not just that particular section, but all of that stuff that I had mentioned before, is being used in such a way where this individual is sharing with me, sharing with the world, sharing with the universe, with God, that things can be stripped away, that you have to work extremely hard for things. Otherwise, you won't get them. That if you have something very good, you'll lose it. That if you have too much of something, you'll lose it. Right? So that is lack mentality. Now, this all came from me pretty much asking how this individual feels about money. And all those things came up, and I was like, that's so interesting, right? But nevertheless, you have a particular perspective about yourself and who you're being, right? The reason why I said I'm not going to be on the surface anymore is because everything else is like a facade. It's like a prescription. It's like, hey, take this thing so that you can feel this way. When in reality, all you have to do is just be the thing. Like, even when I say the word feeling, like when you have to feel something, that doesn't mean you have to feel happy all the time. Like, feeling something and knowing something, those are very similar. Like, I know, like, there's just a feeling. I just know in my heart, I know in my soul, this is true. I know in my soul, I am rich. I know in my soul, I am wealthy, I know in my soul I have created generational wealth. I know in my soul that I have created multiple businesses that help people, that service people. I know that what I've done to help children has gone immensely beyond what I ever imagined. I know that the work that I do, because it's for the Most High, because the work that I do is for God, because the work that I do is inspired by God. How do I know? Because it's a desire I have. What does desire mean? D, day of or from. D is day of or from. Sire, the Father, the stars, the heavens above. From the Father. Desire is something that comes from the stars above, something that you did not create yourself. It's something within you already, right? So you have a desire to do things. I have a desire to do the things I'm sharing with you. Some of these things you cannot physically see them, right? Quote unquote. And I'm going to even cancel that out of my language. Some of these things, right, are in my mind's eye currently, right? In my mind's eye, as I'm transporting myself through this thing called time to get there, and a series of events to get there. Like, you can't live life without a series of events. So when you take the next step that you take in your life, there has to be a knowingness that that next step is what's getting you to the next thing. It doesn't matter if you like the step or not. Okay, there's a whole nother thing on revision. We can revise our lives, guys. You didn't know that. But your imagination is so powerful that you can revise things that have happened in your past, right? Because the only thing that exists is now. So as you think of the past right now, you are living the past right now. You are experiencing it right now. So you are creating more of this now for your future. So you're just getting more of your past. When you think of the future that is maybe predictable in the sense that you don't want to experience it, something like you don't want to go to work and have this conversation with your boss. You don't want to have this conversation with your husband. You don't want to talk to your girlfriend about this. You don't want to do this thing. You don't want to go to this party. You expect this to go a bad way for you. You expect Nancy to have an attitude because she always does. Like, those things that you are expecting for your future, you're expecting them when? Now. So what you're doing now is creating that future. It's a lot easier to think about with the future, but the past one, think about it the same way. It doesn't matter which way it goes. So controlling that imagination to only share with you the things that you want to see, that is how you revise your life. But we're going to leave that to the side because that's not what this conversation is about. Back to the topic at hand. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself and to the people around you to be the light and be nothing else. To be the one who's always chosen. Who cares about a job interview with 1,000 people going for it? You're always chosen. You are everything. You're the light of the world. Everything responds well to you. Your life goes perfectly. You get everything that you want. Everything that you want, you get it immediately. It happens for you easily, smoothly, effortlessly. You get things easily. You understand things easily. You're a genius. You make decisions quickly. Decisions are easy to make because you already know in your heart you're always making the right decision. This is how you want your mind, your body. This is what the feeling is. Can you feel that? You can feel that, so you can be that. Understand? This is what I meant by I don't want to scratch the surface. I just want to go straight into it. Scratching the surface, it takes too freaking long. It's too much. And I'm tired of it, honestly, because people don't listen to it, right? Like, people listen, but they don't really take heed, and they don't really like dig in because it's too much. Like, it's like, damn, I got to do this whole thing and this technique and these thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Like, what I'm saying may sound difficult, but once you even just start to do it, just start to just imagine things going well for you all the time. And as you imagine them, know that they are happening at the same time. Know it. Like, you can choose to know something. You can choose that. You can choose that. You can choose to know or to not know something. And you can choose how to apply that knowing. Right? There you go. It's that simple. I choose to know that everything I choose to do is the absolute right choice. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. And the thing is, I'm not even going to bring up any experiences that could give you an example right now because it's not that vibe. Like, that's not the vibe we're on, We're on the vibe of what's possible. We're on the vibe of let's go forward. We're on the vibe of let's move, let's shake, let's get this thing, let's feel our way into the reality that we know is meant for us. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel the draw to it. You wouldn't feel the desire to get it. And that's the best part. Like, if it wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't want it. It's so freaking awesome. See, here's the thing. Sometimes the things that you think you want, the things you want right now are just leading you to another want, leading you to another desire. Like, I've had plenty of desires where I'm like, ooh, I want to go this way. And the reason I went this way is because of this, this, and this. Like, wow, it's amazing. And a lot of the times it ends up me having to give. A lot of the times I actually end up having to give. I end up giving to other people during those times. I end up, whether it be funds like fiat, cash, things like that, food, a word, love, care, a hug, a smile. It usually ends up in me giving something. And when you give, it's much better to give than receive. That's what the Master Jesus told us. Listen to this man or this character in this book, whatever you want to take it as. I would take it as a real thing, okay, if I were you, but I'm not here to tell you how to interpret that. My job is to get straight to the point and let you know there's nothing outside of you. When you know this, it's okay to affirm these things. Of course, I am all that there is. Everything works out for me. Everything is me. I am it. So if I'm not separate from anything, then I can never be without anything. Therefore, I need nothing. Therefore, I have everything. Therefore, things come to me easy. So easy. So easily. Like, life is so easy. Life is beautiful. Life is special. Life is perfect. It unfolds perfectly for me because I say so, because I know so, because I'm born of royalty. I am royalty. Before I was flesh, I was spirit. I am royal. I am that I am. And I am all that I say that I am. I am all I think I am. I love you. Enjoy yourself. Remember, you are the one who creates everything. The way that you feel. This is episode 3 on that feeling stuff. Like I said, at the first 2 episodes, great, but we're cutting straight into it. Like, once you kind of got that part, everything else should be pretty easy. So, everything else I'm saying right now. So next week, okay, we're going to have episode 4 of 5 for the emotional creatures. This is episode 3, which is just straight to it, just be. Episode 4 is going to be a little bit deeper on this particular subject as well, so you won't want to miss it. I also have some great stuff in that episode too, so look forward to episode 4 of 5 of Emotional Creatures. This has been episode 3, where we talk about emotion and the relation to us. This is exactly how we relate emotions to us, is by just when we feel the way that we want to be feeling, okay? Meaning when we are being the thing, we are it and we have it, and there's nothing that's separating us from it, right? I am all that there is. That means there's nothing separate from me. I am everything. Wow, that's freaking incredible. And it's the same thing that you will be told. I don't care what religion you go search for. I don't care what you go search for in terms of God, the self, whatever. You're going to find the same answers I'm finding. It's the truth. Every single person who's ever found this truth has said the same thing. I'm just saying it a little bit different. A little interesting, right? And one last thing with the emotions. When you respond emotionally to the circumstances that happen outside of you, meaning life, when things happen and you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is where the revision part comes in. So we're going to go into revision next time. Okay. That's the deeper portion. So it'll be a part 2 to this, actually. This will be a part 1 of the part series. This is part A, and part B is next week. So part A is just the introduction into being, and then part B is going to be the revision, right? So revising as you go through your life. As you respond emotionally to things, you are creating that for your future right now, right? Like, what you're doing now is creating your future. So as you respond emotionally to things that happen now, which is stuff that you already put into your quota last week or yesterday or 2 months ago or 2 hours ago, whatever it was, you're getting what you already felt. So don't feel it again so you get it again. Feel something different so you get something different. Done. Love you. Mwah. Have a blessed evening. You are amazing. Stay amazing. And I really, really just put out there that you have the best day, the best week, the best month, the best year ever, period, point blank. And they only get better and better and better. And if you don't, I will trust that you did any freaking